Welcome to Buddhism and Life, where we dive deep into the timeless teachings of Buddha and explore how they apply to our modern lives. In a world that's constantly changing, filled with distractions, stress, and noise, finding peace may seem like an impossible task. But what if I told you that the secret to inner peace has been known for over 2,000 years? Today, we're about to uncover profound insights that can transform the way you approach life. In this video, we'll explore the 5 most common mistakes that drain your energy, mistakes we all make, and how to protect your inner peace. This is not just a discussion, it's a powerful guide to reclaiming your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Trust me, you don't want to miss a single second of this. So, grab a seat, open your mind, and get ready for a journey that could change your life. Make sure to watch until the very end, because this video is packed with wisdom, practical advice, and timeless stories that will equip you with everything you need to protect your energy and live a more balanced life. Let's dive in. Mistake 1. Oversharing personal information. In today's world, where we are constantly connected through digital platforms, it has become second nature to share intimate details about our lives, our successes, struggles, and deepest emotions. But there is profound power in silence. The Buddha taught that right speech is essential to living wisely, and that it is best to speak only when necessary, when words are beneficial, and when they align with the truth. The more we share, the more we expose ourselves to the judgments and criticisms of others. Thus, we must ask ourselves whether our sharing serves us or depletes our energy. Before sharing any personal information, we must pause and reflect. Is this necessary for others to know? Often, we share things not out of necessity but out of a desire for validation or attention. In doing so, we leave ourselves vulnerable to negative energy, and we risk depleting our own peace of mind. The more we keep certain aspects of our lives to ourselves, the more protected and grounded we feel. By speaking less and listening more, we can preserve our energy and safeguard our inner peace. There's a powerful story from Buddhist teachings where a young monk asked his master why he never spoke freely to others. The master replied, "Only speak when your words are like the lotus, pure and without attachment to the self." This is a reminder that we should carefully consider the impact of our words. The practice of right speech can be cultivated in everyday life. Speak only when necessary, and let your actions reflect your true nature more than your words. By doing so, we protect our energy and create space for meaningful connections rather than draining ourselves through unnecessary sharing. Mistake 2. Absorbing other people's negative energy. It's natural to empathize with others when they are suffering, but the Buddha cautioned us to avoid absorbing their negativity. There's a critical difference between compassion and absorption. Compassion allows us to understand and offer support without taking on the emotional burden of others. When we absorb someone else's negative energy, we lose our own peace and are unable to help them in a meaningful way. When we feel ourselves becoming overwhelmed by the emotions of others, we need to pause and ask, "Is this my burden to carry?" We must remind ourselves that while we can offer support, we are not obligated to take on another person's pain. This practice of detachment, taught by the Buddha, is not about becoming indifferent but about maintaining our emotional balance while helping others. Similarly, in Christianity, Jesus taught us to lay our burdens on Him, reminding us that we do not have to carry everything on our own. In one of the Buddha's teachings, a grieving woman approached him and asked for a medicine to bring her child back to life. The Buddha asked her to collect a mustard seed from a household where no one had died. She went from house to house, but every household had experienced death. When she returned to the Buddha, she understood that death is inevitable and that suffering is part of the human condition. This story teaches us that we can offer comfort, but we must accept life's impermanence without allowing ourselves to be overwhelmed by others' pain. Instead of absorbing others' emotions, we can offer kindness while maintaining our own peace. One way to practice this is by visualizing a protective light surrounding us, allowing us to help others without losing our energy. By doing so, we can be present for others while staying grounded in our own emotional well-being. Mistake 3. Holding on to past hurts. Holding on to anger, resentment, or past wounds is like holding a hot coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Many of us waste valuable energy by clinging to past grievances, whether they are old arguments, perceived betrayals, or hurtful actions. But in truth, holding onto past pain only prevents us from moving forward and enjoying the present. The Buddha taught that all things are impermanent. Everything we experience, joy, sorrow, success, suffering, is transient. By holding on to the past, we allow it to control our present and steal our peace. Letting go of old wounds is an act of liberation that frees us from the shackles of the past. We must ask ourselves, does holding onto this pain bring me peace? Releasing past hurts is not about forgiving others for their wrongdoings but about freeing ourselves from the prison of resentment. The Christian teaching of forgiveness, forgive, and you will be forgiven, Luke chapter 6 verse 37, resonates deeply here. By forgiving others, we free ourselves from the burden of past grievances and allow healing to take place. A well-known Buddhist story tells of a monk who was constantly insulted by another monk. He sought guidance from the Buddha, who responded, "If someone offers you a gift and you refuse it, to whom does the gift belong?" The monk replied, "It belongs to the person offering it." The Buddha then said, "Just as the insults belong to the one who offers them, not to you. If you refuse to accept them, they can no longer harm you." This lesson teaches us that we can choose not to accept negative energy, whether it comes from words or actions. Letting go of past hurts frees us from their control over our emotions. It allows us to experience the present moment with a light heart. Practice forgiveness, not for the other person, but for your own peace. Releasing the past opens the door to healing and freedom. Mistake 4. Saying yes to everything. We often think that saying yes to every request or demand means we are being kind, generous, or helpful. However, the Buddha cautioned against overcommitting ourselves. Saying yes to everything often leads to burnout, leaving us with nothing to give to ourselves or others. The Buddha's teachings on the middle path, living a balanced life, remind us that true generosity comes from a place of abundance, not depletion. Before we agree to anything, ask, am I saying yes out of obligation or because I truly have the energy and desire to help? Saying yes to everything can drain us, leaving us with little to offer ourselves. The act of saying no with kindness is an important practice of self-care and respect for our energy. In one teaching, a king asked the Buddha for guidance on how to lead his people. The Buddha replied, "Just as a cartwright holds a wheel steady, you must hold your own life steady. Do not overextend yourself. Only then can you lead with clarity and balance." This story reminds us that balance is key to effective leadership, and it is equally important in our personal lives. Learn to say no without guilt. It's okay to prioritize your own well-being. By setting boundaries and honoring your own needs, you ensure that when you do say yes, you do so with a full heart and a renewed sense of energy. Mistake 5. Seeking external validation. One of the greatest energy drains is the constant need for external validation. We often seek approval from others, whether it's from family, friends, or even strangers on social media. But as the Buddha taught, true happiness and peace come from within. When we depend on external validation, we give away our peace to the opinions of others, which are fleeting and unreliable. Instead of seeking validation from others, we must turn inward and ask, am I living in alignment with my truth? Or am I seeking the approval of others? True peace comes from self-acceptance and living according to our values, not based on what others think of us. In one of the Buddha's teachings, he said, "Do not believe in anything simply because you have heard it. Do not believe in anything because it is spoken and rumored by many. Do not believe in anything because it is found written in your religious books. Do not believe in anything merely on the authority of your teachers and elders. But after observation and analysis, when you find that anything agrees with reason and is conducive to the good and benefit of one and all, then accept it and live up to it." This teaching encourages us to trust our own wisdom and experience, rather than relying on the external approval of others. Shift your focus from external praise to internal wisdom. Cultivate self-acceptance and live in accordance with your own truth. By doing so, you will create a deep sense of fulfillment that doesn't depend on others' opinions. We've explored powerful lessons today. Lessons that have withstood the test of time. From the wisdom of the Buddha to real-world applications, you now hold the key to avoiding these common mistakes that drain your energy. Protecting your peace isn't just a practice, it's a way of life. But here's the thing. These teachings are only valuable if you apply them. Don't let this be just another video you watch and forget. Take a moment, reflect on what you've learned, and ask yourself, how can I start applying these principles today? If you found this video valuable, don't keep this wisdom to yourself. Share it with those who need it. Leave a comment below. Tell us what resonated with you. And let's start a conversation about how we can all live with more balance, peace, and wisdom. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update from Buddhism and life. We're here to share, grow, and walk this journey together. Remember, life is not about perfection. It's about progress. Stay peaceful, stay mindful, and protect your energy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.